Hello, hello. Welcome back to my aunt's attic.
Welcome back. Let's unpack.
We got a lot to unpack. Transitioning into this after what just went down is a little bit of a jarring experience, but we'll leave that for the midst of the podcast, potentially. Who knows? But, Mary Grace got an earful this morning, so. Anyway, moving on. We're just going to dive right into it. We got a different kind of episode ahead of us. And, actually, I lied. How you doing, Mary Grace?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Anything new happened this week?
No. I can't think right now.
Yeah, it kind of melted your mind, probably, there a little bit. Yeah. We'll get into it. All right, yeah.
What about you? Anything new with you this week?
Oh, nothing. Nothing new at all. No, just work and putting off emails that I need to get to as far as school goes, because I'm taking one class in the fall and I haven't paid for it. I have not actually applied. Apparently I have to reapply. I have to send in my reapplication. I'm like, that's so stupid. Yeah. I'm a student. Just put me in the class. That's so annoying. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm putting off a lot of stuff for school.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. We're doing good. We're doing so good. So now that we've got out of the way, I want to ask you.
Oh, God.
When you are asked how you are... I said that wrong. When you're asked how you are, damn it. We're going to do this, and we're going to get it right. When you're asked, how are you? How often do you actually answer truthfully? Okay, because we're not going to get it right. Truthfully.
How often do I answer truthfully?
Yeah.
I would say, more often recently, because, I'm kind of the person of, don't put your personal info on me if we're, strangers and I'm just, cashing you out at the register. I don't actually care about your day kind of thing. But because so many people are so honest with me, I've, kind of allowed myself to, explore that a very little bit of just being oh, I'm okay. You know what I mean? I won't get into anything, but because other people do it, I've, kind of explored, honesty. Not a lot.
So it's more of the specific wording that you use instead of oh, I'm good. You're oh, I'm okay. I could be better, but...
Right.
But that's smart. The leaning into, the starting edge of truthful kind of thing. That's good.
Yeah.
At least. I think time and place and person.
Facts.
Definitely depends on how much you can actually get into and divulge.
How about yourself?
No.
Not at all?
No. Very, very rarely. Again, time, place, person. If it's my friend's family, I'll hit them with the good classic, I'm living the dream.
Oh, God.
It's awful. But, no, I don't really tell the truth a whole lot because that'd be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was going through some of the questions that we have, I was, kind of thinking of some of my answers. I was like, wow, I'm a miserable human being. Why is anybody my friend? Because I suck. It's just really pathetic. So I'm I don't want to pour my heart out to people because it would just be nothing but wow, just you need help. And most of the time, I told my cousin and my aunt just yesterday that most of the time, if I'm complaining about something or whining, crying, it's just because I want to get it out. I don't really need advice. I especially don't want your pity. I don't want oh, well, what da. No, actually, you don't have to respond at all. I just literally need to vent it out toward a person, and then I'm good, and we'll move on with life. That's all I need.
Yeah, sometimes I just need to, hear myself out loud and, I think it through myself. But I feel most of the time I'm actually good. So, whenever I'm having a not good day, I don't feel it's a bad thing to kind of, reach out in small ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have, a person that is your go-to?
No. Just my friends. Whoever's around.
Well, that's good. You feel comfortable enough to, like, reach out to them and be like, today sucks.
Yes, but I also want to work on making sure that other people are in the right headspace to hear about it.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart. Okay.
Because I'm kind of quick to just dump whatever's going on, like, in conversation, if it's someone that I'm close to. But I want to work on, like, making sure that they're having a good day so that we can kind of balance each other out.
Yeah. I saw a video one time of, it was like one person playing multiple parts, and he plays the part of, like, the depressed. He's like, yeah, I'm not doing very good. I'm kind of depressed. And it's the other person's like, oh, well, can I do anything? And they're like, ew, what are you doing? No, stop. And then you go to someone else who's like, man, I'm really depressed. They're like, dude, me too. It's like, yes, exactly what I needed.
I don't know if I like when people say me too, though.
I'm not straight up me too, but just the idea of, like, you're going through it too, it'd be like, I understand, but we're not going to talk about it because that's
Yeah.
But just, like, camaraderie in the misery. There's always, like, the solidarity is great. Not that I ever want anybody to feel crappy or anything, but, like, just knowing someone else is going through it, it's like, we can walk this together.
Right.
You know? And I think it kind of goes back to what I was saying before about how you have to have your outsides matching your insides. You have to have your person matching your person, because then you can, like, understand rather than the grading. Like, I go to someone who's, like, always happy-go-lucky, and it's like, you're flaunting your happiness in my face, and I don't appreciate it. Which, great, be happy and everything, but I'm gonna avoid you for right now. Don't do that, people. Don't do that. Don't avoid happy people. This is how you know I am not a licensed professional in psychiatry at all.
We are not licensed.
This is a what not to do podcast.
We're just people on a couch. 2 couches. We're not even on the same couch.
Nope. Gotta have that. Gotta have the bubble of space. Gotta have that arm's length.
It would be
distance.
weird if we were on the same couch.
Yeah.
No offense.
How do you feel about people sitting on the same side of, like, the booth when they're on a date?
I did that recently. It was
Yeah?
nice. It was
You like
cute.
it?
Well, it wasn't a booth. It was like,
Table?
free seats or whatever. A table. It was at Chipotle, and it was.
Gotcha.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did Eric feel about it?
What do you mean? How did he feel about it?
Well, you liked it, but did he like it?
Oh,
I assume that you were with him.
yes. I thought that's what you were asking. Like I was with somebody else.
Like, oh.
I don't know. Well, we both had the idea, like, at the same time. Of, we should just, because when we're at, my house, like, eating, we sit next to each other.
Yeah.
It's nice. We, like, when we're together and we're eating, we're, like, there's always some touch, like, an inch of, like, physical touch, whether it's, like, a knee or an arm. It's, like, there's a constant connection.
That's so cute.
When we're eating. So.
That is so cute. I've never had that. Not sure I want that. The last time I had, like, a big meal with everybody was with my family. We were coming back from the beach, and we stopped to grab breakfast, and I ended up sitting next to my cousin Zach, and he warned me beforehand. You good over there?
I'm just, like, beat up. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was sitting next to my cousin Zach, and he warned me that he is all elbows when he eats, and he was not lying. I had my meal plus elbow. I mean, he was tossing them around like crazy, and he just looked at me. He was like, "I told you," and I was like, "Yeah, you did."
Oh my god, that's so annoying.
He was like such a caveman. He's like the double-fisted knife and fork and pounded on the table. No, not really, but he warned me. So yeah, I need my space. I need at least 2 elbows worth of space, at least.
I sit. My mom gets mad at me all the time because I sit really far from the table, so I'm always, like, dropping food on the floor, and she will, like, scold me like I'm a little kid. She's like, push your chair in, get closer to the table. And when we first moved into our house and we didn't have placemats, she made me eat, like, on a towel.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, so I sit really far away and I just, like, reach a little finger out. I don't know, it's more comfortable.
Okay.
I don't like
You're doing, like, the Detroit lean at the dinner table?
Yes, exactly.
I mean, if it works for you.
I've never learned how to cut steak. So you won't catch me with a fork and a knife ever in my hand at the same time.
Are you going full caveman, just picking up the full chunk of meat?
Yeah.
Not anymore. You're a vegetarian.
Well, yeah.
But you just whole hawk it, kind of
like stab it with the fork and then take little bites and set it down.
Oh my. Okay.
Which also sometimes involves like a little bit of like head shaking and
you're going full canine on it.
Because it's like
I think it's a good thing you're a vegetarian.
Wow. Listen,
you've done the world a favor.
It's not that I haven't tried to learn, but every time I did, I ended up shaking the whole table.
You're sawing at it.
I can't, and the coordination, it's all wrong because I have to hold the fork in my opposite hand than I normally would. And so then I stab it with the fork, saw it with the knife, and then I have to switch hands that the fork is in so I can pick up the piece that I cut off and then eat it, and then switch again.
I promise you
stab
don't.
it, cut it, switch.
I promise you.
I
promise you don't. You don't have to do that.
I can't eat it with my left hand. It'll end up in my nose. I really can't do it. This left hand is nothing to me. It just holds my Fitbit and my hair tie. I don't need it, and I don't use it. I forget that I have it. It's so useless and pointless.
It's for symmetry and decoration.
Basically.
Oh my god.
I don't need it. It doesn't even know that it's part of me. It feels so foreign. Like I'm moving it around a lot and I'm thinking about it right now and I have no control over this.
It's an entity all its own.
I am so not ambidextrous. I am unidextrous. I'm right-handed for all things except for hockey, which is why I totally believe that handedness is genetic, because my dad is the same exact way. He's right-handed for everything except for hockey.
Like, you're goofy-footed or something? Because I'm goofy-footed when I snowboard.
No.
And I think when I play pool... Oh, we're doing so good.
That was a good one.
Yeah. When I play pool, I genuinely cannot figure out which direction I go because I go both ways.
I don't think
I've tricked myself into not understanding how to play. Okay. That threw me for such a loop.
Like, normally if you're right-handed for hockey, your right hand would be lower on the stick.
Right.
But my left hand's lower.
See, it's the same as pool. Like, both feel natural to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now if you're right-handed, which is the way you snowboard? Is it your right foot forward or backward?
It's been a long time, I don't remember.
Well, I snowboard... Not that I snowboard, but... but my left foot would be forward.
I ripstick with my left foot forward.
So is that correct, or is that goofy?
I don't know. I never thought about it.
I say this like I snowboard on the regular basis. I don't. I haven't snowboarded since I was like 8.
When you use a scooter, do you kick? Like, do you push with your dominant side?
A scooter?
Like, which foot is planted and which kicks? Which pushes?
It depends on how I start.
What?
I just
switch?
Yeah, I switch. It kind of depends on which way I'm going, or... Again, not that I've been on a scooter since... I did... Oh my god. I did get on a bike for the first time in 15 some years last night. My ass is bruised. Those seats are not okay. They're just wrong. Not okay.
No. I like to ride beach bikes because the seats are really big.
I feel like it's rude.
It's rude.
It is. I'm like,
it's offensive.
Like, get better seats. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, it's 2023. How are we not come up with anything else?
Yeah, like a bucket seat. I want a bucket seat on a bike for my ass. Like, it's
but
not
then
that
how
hard.
do your legs kick if you're sitting?
Not like in a
full
full-blown wraparound bucket seat, but like one that doesn't go up my crotch. Like,
you could get one of those, I don't know what you call it.
There are seats actually made for women because our pelvises are different shaped. Mm-hmm. And so the seats that are usually on bikes are not made for female pelvises, so there is at least that. I've never tried one, so who knows, but I'm just thinking, I'm like, there's got to be a better way. Again, not that I've biked, like I said, first time in like 15 years, so I'm not the one to talk about bike seats. Everyone can do whatever they want to do, because I have no say in the matter. My legs were really short, and I was riding my cousin's bike, who is just...
That's scary.
He's disproportionately long-legged, and I was like half tipped over trying to get on and off this thing, and it was not pretty.
I didn't learn how to ride a bike till I was 13, I don't think.
I was 7. That was not a fun experience.
I hated it.
But we did it, so kudos to us. Yeah. I got another burp brewing. That's gross. We're gonna move on. So we went really off topic, but the next question after the first question, because that's the order of things, how things work. Oh my god. But anyway, how are you really?
I hate that question!
Okay, we're gonna move on then. Okay, so what is a compliment?
Do you want to answer it?
No.
Okay.
Because it's not fun. Well, you heard half of the not okay this morning. Anyway.
Yeah, but I don't know the context.
Oh boy. So we're just gonna switch gears over to... Did I even mention the fact that we're doing like a different style episode today? This is like this is like a whole therapy session episode of just questions that just getting into the nitty-gritty of things. So what is a compliment you wish you received more frequently?
Oh, I didn't think about this one.
I sent you the questions.
I know, but I didn't think about all of them. Goodness. Okay, let me look at it with my eyes.
I have it right here.
Oh, thank you.
Look at it with your eyes. What else are you gonna look at it with?
My hands.
That's not braille.
See more frequently. I don't know. Do you have one?
I just realized I was like hardcore staring you down. I apologize. So as we discovered whatever episode ago, I don't really know how to function when I get compliments, because I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands. But instead of compliments, I would actually rather get like the text message that says like, hey, you're not here, where are you? Or, you know, I'm so glad you're here, like we missed you. I want kind of like the reassurance that my presence is wanted. And people are happy to see me. Because I always like self-doubt. I'm like, I don't need to be here. I'm bothering people. I'm a nuisance. I've overstayed my welcome. And it's just constantly like self-doubt. And so that's why I don't do well with like open-ended invitations. Because I'm like, oh, I'm just a bother. You're just inviting me because you are obligated to. You don't actually want me there. And I'm not going to impose my presence on you. And that's the kind of thing. So I'm like, I need handwritten invitations that were pre-made with my name scrawled real big on the top, because this is absolutely for me and my presence is actually wanted. And I'm like, oh my goodness, okay. So yeah, the reassurance that my presence is wanted and missed if I'm not there would be great.
I feel the exact same way. There is, the friend group that I spoke about with the concert incident a few weeks ago, they, like, constantly are leaving me out, even when I'm physically there.
Mm-hmm.
And that is hard, because I almost do it on purpose, where if they're all, like, going off to do something, I will purposefully stay back and see if anybody notices that I didn't tag along, and they don't. So, I'm the same way.
Well, I know there have been times, like in high school, I'll be part of something, and it actually happened. I'm not going to say specifics, but I was always kind of like on the tail end of this one group, because I was friends with a couple of friends who were better friends with the other friends. Mm-hmm. That didn't make any sense, but it made sense to me, so we're going to move on. So I'm always kind of like on the outskirts of this group, and I'm in pictures, and then I actually saw the pictures that I was cropped out of them. So I'm like, my worry is not unfounded.
That's dirty!
Yeah, my worry is not unfounded of my presence not actually wanting to be there.
That's disgusting!
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I was a loser in high school. Like, I didn't, but it was like, wow,
That's terrible. I would not ever do that to someone, even if I didn't like them, I would never do that to someone.
It's so, yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So I'm always
sorry.
like, are you just inviting me because I'm standing next to somebody you actually want to be there and you feel obligated to invite me? Or, so not an unfounded fear. But, yeah. We need to move on.
I would also just like to hear more often that I'm doing fine.
Like,
Just
other
in
people
life.
think, like, you're doing...
Just like, you're okay. Like, you're gonna live. You know what I mean? Just
Well,
get
that's
worried
a fact.
that I'm not, like, on the same step as other people my age in life, and...
Oh, that is honestly one of the harshest things, like, comparing yourself to other people. I do sometimes look at, like, people on Facebook, like, oh, this person's married, this person has kids, this person's living here and doing this, and I'm like, am I good? Am I okay? And I'm like, wait a second, I actually don't care.
Oh, I care.
I don't
That's
care.
the problem.
I'm like, good for you guys, like, I'm glad you're living your life, but you're not a part of my immediate social circle, so, like, why would I care? Why would I try and compare myself to you? Like, I don't care. I'm happy where I'm at. I have plans. Actually, that was another episode I was going to think about, like, talking about the future. Future.
Wait, is that a SpongeBob thing?
Yes.
Future. Oh, that's what it is. It's Squidward rocking back and forth.
Yep.
I was confusing it with SpongeBob going, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis.
That entire show is one epic long fever dream.
I have to rewatch it. It's so funny.
2005 and before is good. Anything after 2005,
Really like old SpongeBob, yeah.
yeah, is a little questionable.
But yeah, I feel like I don't know where I'm supposed to be at this point, and so I look around to try to gauge, and that
you are supposed
so
to be
hard.
You are supposed to be exactly where you are right now. You're doing fine, Mary Grace. You're doing so good. You're 21.
I know. I feel young, but I feel old at the same time. I don't know. Like a girl on my TikTok feed, she's 18 and she just bought a house because she's an influencer, and I'm like, oh my god, like
But do you remember what you said about, like, Taylor Swift? How you think it's not okay for somebody to have that much fame?
Well, yes,
money
but just
and
in
power.
general, people just know what they want to do, and I don't, and
Girl,
it's scary.
you're 21. I'm 27. I still know what I want to do. I'm still working on it.
And it's hard because so many things are changing, so many different, like, new kinds of jobs you can have, and people are moving out later or moving out younger, and, like, everybody's on such a different page. I wish it was, like, just laid out for me.
The scary part is how quickly things come up and then become obsolete again.
As
You
far
don't
as,
even
like,
have
job
time
trends.
to... Yeah, you don't even have time to establish something before you're moving on again. So, if you feel lost, join the rest of every little person ever. I saw this one thing. It was just like parents, like kids think parents have it all together, and then you look at the parents, you're like, what are we doing? We're just flying by the seat of our pants, kind of thing. But
That has to go with another question of one of these, but we'll get to it. I had a dream that I lost 2 of my teeth.
oh dear,
I hate those kinds of dreams.
that means something. There's meaning behind that.
Yeah, it's about something with your emotion. You had to sacrifice. But didn't we look it up one time on a podcast?
We did. You think I'd remember? No.
You had to let go. You had to sacrifice an emotion for something. I don't remember, but it was these two.
Because that shows up on the podcast.
It was my. Nah, it doesn't matter.
What are these two?
Not
The front two.
the front two.
That is not their scientific
It was
name.
my right front one and the one next to it on the right.
The scientific name is the front two.
D27 and A41.
No, there's like bicuspids and canines and incisors and molars. And I don't know what these ones are. Because again, pointing shows up real well on an audio podcast.
The front two. I don't know.
Okay.
Did you, when you were a kid, had you lost both of these at the same time?
I don't think so.
I don't know if I did.
I don't recall. All I remember is having my dad shove his disgusting pliers right out of the toolbox to yank my teeth out.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I hated losing teeth so much that so often when I was a kid, I had like 2 sets of teeth because the new ones had grown in, and I had the baby ones were just hanging on, and I couldn't.
Baby shark. Do, 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 do.
I couldn't pull them out. I couldn't do it. It freaked me out.
Okay.
All right, I'm
love
gonna
teeth.
ask you one.
Okay.
What's been the best compliment that a stranger has ever given you?
Well, again, it's a full faculty shutdown when someone compliments me, but any compliment will do. But I do remember, because I've talked about him before on the very first episode when I went through the Arby's drive-through and
Oh, the smile.
the kid there with the greatest smile ever, and I don't know, he just said I was pretty, and we started up like a little friendship because of that, and I love it. But there's definitely been better ones, but I probably forget them because I blacked out. That's terrible. Your turn.
You're not a stranger, but every compliment you've given me, I remember it so hard. So
That's good.
proportionate. And if Danielle was going to have any sexual attraction, it would be all for me. And I'll never forget that. But you're not a stranger, so let me think of something else. I get compliments on my name probably twice a day at work. And I really like that.
That's awesome.
But I don't like when then people go, "Oh, you must be a Christian girl."
What?
Shut
up! Like, what does that have to do with your name?
Because Mary...
No.
I don't know. Every old person says that.
Boo.
But then they're so old and sweet, and I can't be like, "Oh, no, actually, I hate God." I can't do that. I have to be like, "Yep," and then that's it. Someone told me that I have the darkest eyes they've ever seen, and they were kind of freaked out. And I
Wait,
liked that a lot.
let me see. What? No, I know for a fact I told you like a couple weeks ago that I love your eyes.
Thank
I like the
you.
darker the better. Like everyone's always like crystalline blue eyes, which are fine, but for me I'm like, no, the darker the better. Like give me that demon pit eye.
I was gonna say my best friend in high school used to call me like her little demon because my eyes are so dark.
You have very pretty eyes.
Thank you. I'll remember it forever.
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
What are you still trying to prove to yourself?
You know what's sad? I read all of these and I thought about it and I forget what I thought about.
Mm-hmm.
What am I still trying to prove to myself? Shusha, I don't know.
I don't think I have anything. Just that, like I said earlier, that like I'm doing fine where I am.
Yeah. I would say that's pretty on par with me as well. Like, I don't know. Prove to myself, like, it's worth it. Stick around. It'll get better. That kind of thing. Oh, go back. I lied. My favorite compliment ever is when someone tells me that it was the best massage of their life.
Oh, that's good.
I love that. This guy, he committed. I'm doing so good. Oh, he came out of the room and then he was like, "Listen, I just got back from like Thailand, and I had fabulous massage." And I'm sitting here, I'm like, "Why are you rubbing it in your face that I'm not like, why are you doing this to me?" And then he was like, "But that was better."
Wow.
And I'm like, "Booyah! Yeah, it was. I'm amazing."
That's amazing.
Okay, so anyway, moving on. Whoa, what am I still trying to prove to myself? Yeah, what you said. That it's all fine and dandy.
That it's all fine and dandy. Okay.
Next.
What is a dream you've let go of?
Easy. Being an actress.
Being an actress.
When I was a
Wow.
kid- So when I was a kid, I always wanted to be an actress because I loved, I get so invested in shows, movies, books, and everything. Like, it's not just something I can say. I don't enjoy things casually. It's all in. I dive too far into things. I understand that. And so when I loved watching and reading these things, and I'm like, I want to be in it. I want to be in the world of this story. And I want to be an actress to be able to do that. And then I was in a play. I was in a play in college, and it was such ass. Oh my god, it was awful. And I remember a couple of my buddies came to see it, And I'll never forget. I asked them afterwards, like, what did you think? And they were like, you were definitely the best in the show. Which is not actually a compliment because we all sucked ass. So
Did you
bad.
know it then, though, or looking back?
No, I knew it during it. I was like, because my anxiety won't let me dive fully enough into it. I can't embody the character enough to really, truly act well. And then it just comes across as awkward. So as I'm on the stage, I'm like, this is awful. This is, once again, ass. So I was like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and I was like in an acting class. I took a drama class and everything in my first round of college. And I was like, I can do this. And then I did the play and I was like, I cannot do this.
It's hard.
It is. Kudos to people who can actually do it and do it well because it is hard. That's what she said. Anyway.
So much of sign language is like acting, which
It took
really hard for me to get into.
It took until like the very last couple weeks of our conversation class, which was technically level 5, 6 or whatever, for me to get out of my head enough to actually give it my all.
It's hard.
And it still was a struggle. Yeah. Your turn now.
Well, I wouldn't say I've totally let go of it, but probably being an interpreter.
Mm-hmm.
At least I don't see it in my near future, but maybe later on. But
that was a weird one for me because I went to school just wanting to learn the language. Didn't expect to do anything with it. I just wanted to know sign language. Went to school. They were pushing you into a program to become an interpreter. So I was like, oh, interpreting that. And so it became a dream that quickly died out.
Same. I don't think I even thought of the idea of being an interpreter like before ever in my life. And then I just got into it. And then I got into the major. And then I got into intro to interpreting. And yeah, that fizzled out really quick.
To see the intricacies of it and how actually complicated it is.
God bless out there. If you're an interpreter,
it is an incredible skill. Because I think we've talked about it before. You know, the brain, it's not, multitasking is not a thing. It's just your brain switching from one thing to another really quickly, back and forth. But interpreting is actual true multitasking. With like 5 different things going on at the same time. And they just do it so seamlessly and so flawlessly. And I'm like,
it's superhuman.
Holy cow.
People don't know. Nobody has any idea like how much actually goes into it.
Yeah. It is insane. And I quickly was just like, yep, that is not the thing for... I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. So, like, how do you expect me to listen, understand, figure out the next language, actually develop the language, and then being able to keep the same meaning while being in a totally separate language that does not have a one-to-one translation.
While you're listening, and yeah, it's insane. You have to produce and listen and calculate and reorganize and find equivalents and deliver all at the same time.
And there's technically a lag time, so what you're signing is different than what you're hearing. And what you're hearing is different than what you're thinking. I'm like, what the heck?
God bless.
It's insane.
Kudos.
Yep.
To interpreters.
Yeah. So that was a dream that died quickly. And brightly. Just poof, disintegrated quickly.
I could see myself maybe doing it later on in life. If I'm kind of established and have the money for more school. Maybe.
I would like to be like a TA and work one-on-one with maybe deaf students where it's not so much interpreting but just helping them get through the day kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I love sign language. I would love to use it.
Incredible.
What are you most afraid of, failure or success, and why?
Pretty healthy dose of both.
Really?
Yeah. Failure is kind of an inevitable thing, you know, because, I mean, what else is practice other than failing and failing and failing and failing, and then, oops, you got it, success, you know? So, I'm kind of used to failure because that's just par for the course. Mm-hmm. But as far as success goes, success is a little bit scary because, and this is the depressive side of things, this is not good advice to ever listen to. I always feel like the higher you are, the harder you're going to fall. So I'd rather just not go up high at all. I'd rather just kind of coast at this midline, so if I do fall, it's not that harsh. And I'm like, that's not a great outlook on life. So, yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Gotta work on that one. So
But I get what you mean. Whenever I am high up, all I can think about is the fear
fall.
of
The fall is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Winter is coming.
Although I'm not afraid of success. Bring it on, please. Did you say winter's coming? Like actually winter? So I
No.
don't think about that either.
No.
What
My
is-
sense of humor sucks, apparently, because you don't get it. You don't
Well, I'm
get
just dumb.
it. No, you're not.
I just don't pick up on kind of things.
No, I said the fall is coming, but then I thought about Game of Thrones and I was like, winter is coming. Yeah. Like I said, remember what I said? My jokes always fall flat because I don't know how to
haven't seen
deliver
Game
them.
of Thrones.
Nor have I.
Oh. Next, what is something you wouldn't want to change about yourself?
My. I almost said inquisitive. I'm not inquisitive. That's not true. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I'm very rooted in. I'm very intellectually rooted, very scientifically rooted, which, when it comes to being, like, when I'm reading or when I'm reading books, watching TV, all that, it's all fantasy. It's as far away from reality as I can possibly get. And that's kind of my escape from reality, because when I'm in reality, I'm so deeply rooted in reality. But I like that. I like being able to sift through things. I like being able to analyze. I'm very, very analytical. And so much so that I was with my family. A couple of my cousins and their kids are in town. We were watching Tangled. And I was like freaking out. I was like, watch this one animation part because if it does this and that's... And I'm like analyzing a Disney movie. And they're like, just sit back and enjoy the movie. I'm like, I can't. So, like I said, I'm all or nothing. And I kind of like that. It's fun for me. So, it might be annoying to other people, but you don't have to hang out with me if that's the case. I like feeling passionate about things. So,
You are the biggest deep diver that I've ever met, I think. It's crazy.
cry.
Whatever you know everything about it. It's so cool though. You're an expert on everything that you love, and that's amazing. Sorry, didn't mean to compliment you. This was
I was about to say, like,
sorry.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Your turn.
What's something I wouldn't want to change about myself? I don't know. I guess I like that I'm open and straightforward. Because I want other people to be like that too.
You are what you want. I was about to say you are what you eat, and that's not correct.
I
mean, sure.
I am what I eat.
But, like, you put out there what you want to receive in return.
I thought about it after our last episode. Yeah, I think that I am open and I lay myself out to whoever because I want people to feel safe to do the same.
Brilliant. I love that. If you could get to know someone...
Next.
If you could get to know someone in your life on a deeper level, who would it be and why?
Oh, this is what I was going to connect. Whenever we were saying that our parents are like people too and that kind of thing, I would want to get to know my mom on a deeper level because I'm recently having this realization of like, oh shoot, like she was a little girl once. She was in college once. She was 21. This is her first time on Earth too. Like, that's terrifying because when you grow up, you think your parents know everything. And then my mom had to ask me how to make a copy on her printer last night. And what she really wanted was for me to watch her do it. And she figured it out herself. But, like, I'm getting to a point where there's a lot of things that my mom doesn't know, and I do. And I'm kind of, not babying her, but having to walk her through a lot of things.
Well, it's what I just said about, like, kids thinking their parents know everything, and then you look at the parents and they're actually just floundering around, like, trying to make it through just like everybody else. They're like, I don't know.
That's scary. That's scary to think about. But I would want to get to know my mom more.
I want to know why kids, and it just happened the other day, yesterday, whatever, doesn't matter, why kids are so infatuated with having somebody watch them do something that's completely, and I'm going to be honest, completely mediocre. Now, hopefully they never hear this. I'm very proud of them. Don't get me wrong.
Just kids in the world.
But just kids in the...
No,
like,
but,
they're riding their bikes. Yeah. Very proud of all the kids.
Hoping they don't hear this.
No.
Kids of the world, if you're listening.
Tiffany, don't let your kids listen to this.
Oh.
Or Ashley and Tiffany, don't let your kids listen to this. I'm very proud of them. Don't get me wrong. It's great. Because actually, I am very proud of them. Because, like I said, I didn't learn how to ride a bike until I was 7. You didn't learn until you were 13. They're like 3 years old. And they're just trucking along on 2 wheels. I'm like, excuse me. Rub it in my face a little bit. Why don't you? Jeez. But... A couple of the boys, they have like these big piles of dirt that they made ramps out of and everything. Mm-hmm. And so they're explaining to me, they're like, we made ramps and we're going across. And in my head, I think ramp and I'm thinking catch and air, right? I'm thinking like BMX style Olympic catch and air in my head, but on a little kid level. And then I come out there and I'm watching them and they're like, Danielle, watch. And I watch them and they just putter themselves over the hill. Bloop. There is not a single inch of air, and I'm like, and I have to stand there, and I'm like, am I supposed to cheer? Okay, sure, yeah, good job. Like you went over dirt.
We probably caught more air at NTID that one time,
but that speed bump was a true ramp. But no, but then my cousin's kid asked me, he was like, could you do this? And I had to stop and I'm like, no, probably not. I probably couldn't go over a big mound of dirt because I would freak out and think I'm going to get hurt. And then me freaking out would actually cause me to get hurt. So you know what? No, I take it back. Y'all are doing great. Work on catching air and then I'll be really impressed. But until then, you're doing great. Keep up the good work.
I think it's just because it's their first time doing everything.
Yeah.
Like, if you were going to do something so amazing, I mean, you probably maybe you'd want someone to watch you. But I think it's just because it's their first time doing everything.
But then I remember years ago, back down in St. Clairsville, all my cousins were over, we were at the neighbor's pool, and the pool had a slide. Mm-hmm. And each time someone went up, and I'm like, they were just on rotation on this slide. And every time they went up, they're like, hey guys, watch this. And they just slid down the slide.
That's so cute.
I'm like, what are we watching? Like, what is this?
That's so cute.
But that's why I want to know, like, just, I guess, building up their self-confidence, their pride or something like that. But it's so cute, but it's like, I have to fake being impressed. Got some work there to do, but
I'm not good at faking it either. I'm just like, wow.
The eye roll. Real quick, I'll answer it. If I could get to know someone on a deeper level, who would it be and why? Just a few of my clients that I'm like, this person comes in, like, you are so cool, I want to be your friend. But it's awkward. Like, I can't really broach the friendship level when I'm the therapist and they're the client. I'm like, I have to let them do it.
Right.
And one of my clients has become a very good friend of mine, which I'm really, really grateful for. She's awesome. She's a great friend. But there's a couple other ones that I'm like, you're so cool. I want to be your friend.
Have you heard that TikTok sound? I don't remember where it came from, but it's like, do you want to maybe hang out, like, socially? And I see people use it for the same thing of, like, their, like, coworkers or clients or whatever. Is there a rule that they have to reach out first?
No.
Just like
it's just a professional,
yeah.
You know, it's kind of like the recommended professional way of going about it. But there are not like hard and fast rules where I could lose my license or something, but like the standard rules that you don't obviously date your clients.
Right.
Or if you do, that they have to stop being your client and you have to wait a certain amount of time to make sure that there's not an inappropriate like transference of emotions because of the massage world. And again, like, I'm very serious about my job because of the implications behind it. I've had issues happen before, and it's very, very uncomfortable, so I don't joke around with it either. But, like, if someone were to... I actually had to fire a client because it took me a minute to realize it because I'm an idiot, and again, social cues don't register with me. He had to, like, flat out say, like, I'm flirting with you and asking you out. And I'm like, well, that's awkward, didn't understand that, now we have to be done. So, and I had to fire him as a client. So, yeah. Where did we go? Where did we come from? Where did we go?
Someone you'd like to get to know deeper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some of my clients, But then definitely not some of my other clients. They can go away. Okay. Has a stranger ever changed your life?
No.
I think that is so freaking funny.
I don't think so.
No?
No, but tell your story and I'll think about it.
Told the story before
I love
about...
the story.
I was in the waiting room of a new therapist I was supposed to be trying to see, but apparently he was so crazy busy that the entire place was packed and they were running several hours behind, apparently. And so everyone's tired and cranky and there for their own issues. And sitting next to me is like this mom or grandma or aunt or, a couple of women with a younger boy. And he is just making all kinds of noise and just fussing up the entire office. And I'm sitting there and I'm losing all my patience, kind of seething in anger. And I'm like, shut your kid up. Like, why are you letting him be so disruptive? Like, what the heck? Control your kid. And then he tells his mom, Mom, I hate having Asperger's. And it just dawned on me that, like, I'm in a room full of people who are fighting their own struggles, their own demons. They're going through it. We're all here to try and get some help. And here I am being a judgmental twat, not understanding that and being impatient with this kid. And then him coming out and saying that just made me realize how judgmental I was being. And so now I look at the world with a little bit more patience, a little bit more understanding, and knowing that there are invisible issues, there are invisible disabilities. And I'm just not going to question it as much. And then when I hear kids like crying and everything in public places, instead of being angry, I kind of laugh or smile and just think like, yeah, they're having a day. They're going through it. The parents are probably going through it. They're exhausted probably. Just hearts out to you. I feel you. You're doing great. You're doing fine. So live your life. Do what you got to do. So yeah, that little boy definitely changed my life in just being a more somewhat decent human being and just having more patience and understanding. But
I love that story.
You got nothing?
No.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
Not
At least
yet.
you're honest.
I'll have a moment. It'll happen. But it just hasn't happened yet.
Well, maybe you're the stranger in someone else's life.
Oh, heck no. I'm under the radar.
You've changed my life, Mary Grace.
No, I haven't.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes. My life is so much better now that you're
Aww,
Yeah.
thank you. You've changed my life.
I have a friend! Yeah.
We both start crying.
This is just a weep session.
You've changed my life.
Now I'm thinking of that You've Changed My Life for Good from Wicked, that song. Have you heard it?
Love that song. Oh my god,
Yes.
I started crying because I saw this America's Got Talent performance, which, no offense, it wasn't that good, but it was a mother who, her son had died and he was an organ donor and donated his heart to another boy, and these two mothers, like, didn't know each other, but on the first one's, like, deathbed, she sang that song to him, and as the other one got the other heart, not related in any way, like, they didn't know each other, like, these occurrences were separate. The other mother sang that to him when he, like, came out of surgery or whatever, when he received the heart, and so they sang it together, and oh my god, I cried. Okay, they weren't, like, great singers or anything, but it was just such a beautiful moment of them, like, coming together, of, like, it was beautiful.
I was kidding when I said, let's have a weep session. But now, like,
I'll have to show it to you.
we need to move on or I'm gonna cry. Are you missing anyone right now? And do you think they are missing you too?
No.
Nah.
I don't think so.
I've said it before. I don't miss people until, like, you're directly in front of me and then I realize, oh, you're somebody that I actually missed having around. I'm glad you're here, kind of thing. But if you're not in my vicinity, I forget you exist. Sorry. Not really. So no. We're heartless. All right.
I had a really good friend that I made at work, like last year or the year before, and we would hang out all the time, and I didn't realize that he, like, had feelings for me. I thought we were just besties.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought he knew, but he found out that I had a boyfriend and, like, cut things off and is very, what's the word? Rude about the whole thing.
Okay.
Because it wasn't like I was hiding it, and it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But I miss having, like, that friendship Does he miss me? Probably not. He's probably mad at me.
That is actually somewhat what happened. I won't say his name, just to respect his privacy. But the guy I was kind of talking to for a little while before I realized that dating was not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really liked him. He was a good friend. I adore him. He was wonderful. And he was actually everything that I've kind of always wanted in a man if I were to ever get married. But we were hanging out, and I always just, that's what I called it. We were just always hanging out rather than dating. We weren't official boyfriend, girlfriend, or anything. We were at the Halloween party, and I had gone to the bathroom with a few of the other girls, because that's what you do, and they told me that he had been calling me his girl, and my brain just shut down. I was like, whoa, too official, don't like that, and I just started to kind of separate and distance myself from him. And then I was like, well, that's not fair. I can't just ghost him. So I was like, hey, can we get together and talk? And he was like, yeah, I kind of figured we needed to because you haven't been around. I'm like, I'm sorry. And I had to put the kibosh on, like, the, again, I called it hanging out, but, like, the talking, somewhat dating, I don't know. But I do think about him a lot. It broke my cold, shriveled heart to know that I hurt him. And I didn't mean to. I couldn't get myself to fall in love with him. I wanted to, but I just couldn't do it. And I drug him into my mess of trying to figure out what is going on with me. And I'm so sorry about that, but yeah. So I do think about him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he's good and happy, and he's in a now, the last I saw, he's in a new relationship, so I'm very happy for him. And, yeah, does he miss me? Probably not. Probably happy to be rid of me.
I have sort of a story that's kind of related. So, I dated this guy in high school, and, this goes with one of our later questions, too. So, we had, like, dated, not really, like, when we were 13, we, like, held hands once.
Oh, it's officially getting married.
And then he broke up with me, and I was so heartbroken because I really liked him. And then years later, when we were 17, he asked me out again, and we had sort of become friends, and I knew he wasn't, like, on the same maturity level that I was, which wasn't a lot, but still, I knew it wasn't gonna be good. And I really liked him, so I really wanted something long-term. I wanted something more serious, and I knew he wasn't on that level. But I was too afraid to say no because I had been waiting, you know what I mean? And so he asked me out, or to be his girlfriend, and I said yes, and I, like, knew in the back of my head that it wasn't going to be good. And it wasn't good. And he was, like, a terrible boyfriend, and he was very possessive and very, like, controlling, and it was bad. So I finally got out after he, like, wouldn't let me break up with him after trying so many times.
Ew.
And he had kept, like, a photo of us in his Instagram profile, and, like, my name in his bio, and the day we started dating in his bio, and, like, I'm all over his Instagram, on his Facebook, on every account that he had, it was a photo of us together in his profile picture, and, like, in his bio was, like, the day. So, yeah. So, it had been months since we stopped dating, and it was all still there. And it wasn't like he wasn't active on these accounts and, like, just forgot to. No, he left it up on purpose.
Do you have a restraining order against him?
No. So,
yeah,
what I
you
did,
need to.
So, I was, like, fed up because everybody thought we were still together and we weren't. And I, like, started talking to Eric at that time, and we started dating, and I, like, was in this other guy's. It was weird, right? So, one day all of our friends, including him, were at the beach, and he was off in the water or something and left his phone up on the beach, and so I took his phone and found, like, an embarrassing photo of him and made it his profile pictures and took my name out of everything, and, like, I cleared everything out, and he found out, obviously. And I felt really good about it at first.
You're a cyberbully.
And then I started to feel really bad. But it was not even my idea, it was my friend's idea. They're like, oh, we're going to the beach tomorrow, you should da-da-da. And they helped me do it and everything. And then months go by and I just was around him a lot and I felt so terrible about it. And I let the guilt eat me alive, which I don't think I did anything that wrong.
Because, well, I mean, you got your name out of there, but posting an embarrassing picture as his profile...
It was just a selfie. He was just making a stupid face.
Okay.
It wasn't, like, embarrassing. It was just a blurry picture of him being like, ugh, or whatever. So, and it's funny, because my mom found out when she wasn't even mad at me.
No, I don't feel... Like, if you're just... If that's more protecting yourself. Getting your name off of somebody that's being creepy, that's weird. So, like, getting yourself detached from that, I think, is more self, like, protection. So I don't think you should feel guilty.
No, but I did feel very guilty, and so I ended up apologizing, and I wish I hadn't.
Yeah, no.
I wish I hadn't, but it ate me alive, because I kept seeing him with our friends, and I just kept feeling this guilt of, like, oh my god, that's another person. I broke his heart.
Yeah.
And so I apologized.
Yeah, creepy.
Shouldn't have. But when he confronted me about it, he was like, I wasn't ready to get rid of all of that. And I'm like, oh my god! It was so
I'm just so lovable!
It was weird.
So, now that we've established that you're a garbage human being...
No, I felt terrible.
No. How can you become a better person? You can't. Everyone's stuck being garbage. No, I'm just kidding.
Facts. No. Just like that point that we keep making of, like, everyone has their own experience, everyone else is, like, going through their own things, and they're a complex human. I want to keep that in mind more. Mm-hmm. Especially when people are being rude, and people are being impatient. Just try to remember that they're probably, hopefully, going through something. If you're not going through something and you're a jerk, then screw yourself. No. That everyone has their own experience, and just try to treat others how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting there, but just something I want to keep working on.
It kind of goes with mine. I was thinking everyone needs to learn how to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest thing is, like, if you're trying to talk to somebody, you can sometimes, it's happened so many times, you can see them actively not listening. They're just waiting for their opportunity to talk. Mm-hmm. And so I think it goes for me, it goes for everybody, just learning how to actually shut up and listen and understand what a person is saying. And you got a little bit of an earful of it this morning, which we're not going to talk about that, but I will say, my mom is notorious about it, because I will say something and you can just see her not listening, and she's unwilling to understand what I'm saying. And as you've heard, I had to explain the same thing over and over because she's refusing to actually listen to what I'm saying. And it happens so often in the debates that I always see in, news outlets, media, whatever, that someone will be saying something and then the person will respond in this, like, vague way that actually has nothing to do with it. And it's like, you weren't listening to the conversation. You just wanted to make this other point. And so because you're just wanting to make this other point, nothing is going together, nothing is getting solved, and you're not answering anything. And it is so infuriating to me. And it's just the utter lack of communication and understanding and listening skills. So that's a big one. Yeah. Have you changed your mind about anything recently? I'm sorry, that was a card hitting the microphone.
Did you do that on purpose?
I did not. That was perfect.
I thought about this one too, but I don't think so. Well, I was feeling really good about going to Cortland, and now I'm really nervous about it.
Oh no.
But that's okay. How about yourself?
I am in the process of changing my mind about something right now. Still working on it, still have to analyze a few things and figure things out with it. But something that I have thought pretty solidly for a long time, I was introduced to a new example of why what I was thinking before didn't really work. And so now I was like, okay, well, I have to do a little bit more research, have to dive into it a little bit, figure things out. But so yeah, I'm currently in the process of changing my mind about something personal, so I won't dive into it. But what I wanted to say about this is, and I was just talking to a client about it yesterday, how there is no issue with changing your mind about something. And I don't know why people are so adamant against it, because it's not just like you're not like admitting that you were wrong so much as like you recognize something new and you're going about life differently. Yes. And then going in a new direction. And that's what we want. We like change. Changing your mind is good as long as you're doing so because you were presented with new facts, new information, and you realize something better and you want to go towards that. Changing your mind is a very good thing, and I don't understand why people are so adamant against it, because it's like doubling down on something. It doesn't show that you're steady and strong, fat, and like, no, you look like an idiot because you're defending something that has been proven to be not okay.
Yes.
So learn how to listen, understand something new, change your mind, and I will respect you thoroughly for that. But if you double down on something that's stupid, you've lost all my respect. So, changing your mind is a good thing.
I think an unwillingness to change your mind is such a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like you were saying, I think as admirable as it is to hold your ground, it's way more admirable to grow.
Mm-hmm. Preach. Okay, so we're at like an hour right now. So, let me see. Let me go through these and let me see if there's... Oh, I was thinking about that one. That one would actually make me cry, so we're not going to do that one.
Wait, can I see which one it was or no?
It was... What's the most pain you've ever been in that wasn't physical? We don't need to talk about that. I will cry. Have you ever told someone I love you but didn't mean it? If so, why? Yes, I've told people I love them when I'm like in the midst of depression and literally cannot feel anything. Not that I don't love you, but just in this moment I'm literally incapable of feeling love. So like, it's kind of a lie, but not really. What about you?
That guy that I mentioned.
Cool.
We like dated for a week and he was like, I love you. And I was like, oh my god, this is bad. And then we dated for a year.
Good job. What parts of your life work? What part of your life works? What part of your life hurts?
Oh, I like this one. So, what part of my life works is that, well, I have like a really poor stamina for socializing and working and going to school and being outside of the house. So for me, my schedule is good for me. It's just enough where I don't feel overwhelmed by it. And I'm able to have a good balance of like alone time and time that I'm working or social or whatever. But the part that hurts is that I don't feel like I'm doing enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have the same stamina for those things that other people do.
Uh-huh.
Which, again, I shouldn't compare myself to other people. Like, I can do what I can do. But
that kind of makes me think of when I say that I'm not going to make myself uncomfortable to appease other people and make them more comfortable. Mm-hmm. Because no one's getting anything out of that. It's disingenuine on my part. I'm uncomfortable here. I'm not being my genuine self to you, so that's not doing you any service as far as me being here. Like, so, I'm not going to make myself uncomfortable to appease other people. And the easiest example of that is like, hugging people. If I don't want to hug you, I'm not going to. I don't care how much I love you. I don't care how much you love me. If I am physically uncomfortable in my skin, I'm not going to make myself miserable by having someone touch me just because it makes them feel good. Like, I'm sorry, you're going to have to find your feel good somewhere else. I can't do that to myself and make myself miserable in this moment. But that kind of mentality I have to apply to other things as well. But it just kind of made me think about that. But mine is actually one and the same. What works in my life is that I'm very independent. I love being by myself. I love living on my own. And after having different roommates and going through the process of, figuring out, going from my family to my other family to living with a roommate, living by myself, living with another roommate, living by myself again, I know what I like, and it's being by myself. But at the same time, that's problematic because I get addicted to my solitude, and then I have a hard time socializing, which is then, like you said, it's hard. So It's kind of a double-edged sword kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep. And the people in my life are very social, And, everyone I work with has so many hours. Don't you want more hours? You can make so much money. Or, you're only going to school 2 days a week. Like, that's great. And that's what I can handle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing the most of what I can handle. And it's so that I can be my best self in those times.
Mm-hmm. I don't like the hustle attitude. Like, you are working your life away. The whole point is to work a little bit so you can live your life, not live your life only to work. That's not how it goes. But, so, final question. What is your favorite animal?
Oh, I don't know if I have one.
Come
I
on.
know you have one.
Give a couple shout outs to different things.
I love turtles. They're so funny.
Tortoises or sea turtles?
Tortoise.
Tortoise? Nice. That's a good one. I like that one too. Yes.
Think of any. I haven't found one that I really connect with ever.
Okay. Well, work on that.
I like bats. I think they're kind of cute.
Oh my god, fruit bats are so cute. I love
They're like
bats.
little upside down puppies.
It's freaking bats.
Freaking bats. I love Halloween. I love that girl.
Look at all the chickens. They're little chickens. Okay. Well,
guinea pigs,
yes. I love hedgehogs.
hedgehogs, any little like rodent-y thing
Yes.
that doesn't have like squirrels freak me out. I don't like squirrels.
I am obsessed with raccoons. I think they're cute. They're so cute. They wash their food. And the video of the raccoon that was given cotton candy and he goes to wash it and then it disappears and he's like, whoa, where'd it go? It's so cute.
Have you seen the updated when he figures it out and he doesn't wash it and he eats it?
No.
There's like a second part of like he figured it out.
Oh my
and
god,
then
I have to see it. Oh, I love raccoons so much.
they're adorable. I love baby skunks.
I want a skunk so bad. You can train them like a cat.
Mm-hmm.
I need one. And no, I wanted a raccoon as a pet, but then I found out they only live like 2 or 3 years. And I'm like, I can't do that. Oh my god. So that's a problem. I
They're
love
so cute.
I love pigs, like little piglets and everything. I
Mm.
love pigs. I used to be obsessed with frogs and owls. Go through your like fads of liking things.
Yeah.
Red pandas.
Oh, they're so
Pandas are
cute.
so cute. And pandas in general. I love pandas. Even though they'll rip your face off. I love it.
I used to be big when I was a kid. I used to love like cheetahs or like a white like leopard or whatever you want to call it, snow leopard or whatever. I used to love that kind of thing.
Well, we're reaching god tier level of animal right here.
Manatee?
Manatees! Buckle up, people, because boy, do I got some facts about manatees for you. Welcome to The More You Know. So we are talking about manatees today. There are different species of manatees, but we're going to be talking mainly about the West Indian manatees, which are large, gray aquatic mammals with bodies that taper to a flat paddle-shaped tail. They have 2 forelimbs called flippers with 3 to 4 nails on each flipper. They actually have toenails. Oh my god, so cute. Their head and face are wrinkled with whiskers on the snout. And the manatee's closest relatives are actually elephants and something called the hyrax, which are small gopher-sized mammals. I don't really know what they are, but yeah, with their closest relative being elephants, like elephants have their trunk, which they use to do things with, and manatees, they'll grab their food with like their upper lip is kind of split into like 2 little finger kind of things, and it's so cute. Oh my god. So manatees are believed to have evolved from a wading plant-eating mammal. Don't know. But the West Indian manatee is related to the African manatee, the Amazonian manatee, and the dugong, and the Steller's sea cow, which was hunted to extinction in 1768 because humans suck. The average adult manatee is about 10 feet long and weighs between 800 and 1,200 pounds. When I went swimming with manatees, they were talking about one that was like really old and it was like reaching up to 1,300 pounds. It was awesome. I didn't get to see it, but just knowing about it, it was floating somewhere around there. It was so cool. So manatees can be found in shallow, slow-moving rivers, estuaries, saltwater bays, canals, and coastal areas, particularly where seagrass beds or freshwater vegetation flourish. Manatees are a migratory species. Within the United States, they are concentrated in Florida in the winter. In summer months, they can be found as far west as Texas and as far north as Massachusetts, but summer sightings in Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina are more common. West Indian manatees can also be found in the coastal and inland waterways of Central America and along the northern coast of South America, although distribution in these areas may be discontinuous. So manatees are gentle and slow-moving animals. Most of their time is spent eating, resting, and traveling. Manatees are mostly herbivorous. However, small fish and invertebrates can sometimes be ingested along with manatees' normal vegetation diet. They eat aquatic plants and can consume floating, emergent, and submerged vegetation from freshwater, brackish, and saltwater environments. Because they are mammals, they must surface to breathe air. They may rest submerged at the bottom or just below the surface of the water, coming up to breathe on an average of every 3 to 5 minutes. When manatees are using a great deal of energy, they may surface to breathe as often as 30 seconds. And when resting, manatees have been known to stay submerged for up to 20 minutes. I went swimming with manatees and I was floating right next to one. And when it came up to breathe, I was right in front of its face, like a couple inches away, and it breathed on me, and it felt like being blessed by Poseidon, and it was the most amazing thing ever, and I cried, but nobody noticed because I was wearing a mask and we were in water, so it was fine. Manatees can swim up to 20 miles per hour in short bursts, but they usually just kind of putter around 3 to 5 miles per hour. And we're still going, folks, because they're so fabulous. West Indian manatees have no natural enemies because they're just freaking awesome. And it is believed that they can live 60 years or more. As with all wild animal population, a certain percentage of manatee mortality is attributed to natural causes of death, such as cold stress, gastrointestinal disease, pneumonia, and other diseases. But a high number of additional fatalities are from human-related causes because humans suck! Most human-related manatee fatalities occur from collisions with watercraft, which is boats, duh. Other causes of human-related manatee mortality include being crushed and or drowned in canal locks and flood control structures, ingestion of fish hooks, litter, and monofilament line, and entanglement in crab trap lines. Because again, humans suck! Ultimately, loss of habitat, because humans suck, is the most serious threat facing manatees in the United States. There is a minimum population count of 5,733 manatees as of January or February, but that's 2019. And according to most recent synoptic survey. They used to be endangered. They are no longer endangered. But again, I will not be satisfied until they are more populated than humans because humans suck. There's even more facts that I could go off on reading, but I think we'll leave it there for today because manatees are incredible and I just love them.
Do they sleep underwater?
Well, I mean,
half and half?
Yeah.
So they breathe,
yeah.
They don't move while they sleep.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And so I went swimming in Crystal River in Florida, and that's the busiest time. Like they said, it's in Florida usually during the winter months, and so that's when tourist season is. And like I said, I swam with them, and they're very curious animals, and they they're wild animals, so you have to respect their space. And so they're like, don't swim over them, don't go up to them, don't poke and prod, just leave them be. And so I'm just floating there, just staring at this huge animal, and I'm just in heaven, and I just, oh my god, I wanted to die right there with my manatees. But, like I said, one was floating right there, and it was munching on its grass, and then it came up, and it breathed on me, and I was like, this is the most amazing, and its little nose was right in front of my face, oh my god, it was incredible. And then later on, you float on these, pool noodles, and, because you're supposed to stay just really calm, you're not supposed to move, so you just float around on your pool noodles, and again, because they're very curious, but they only really pay attention. They're like cats. They only pay attention to you if you're not paying attention to them. And so I'm just kind of floating there. I'm just looking. I'm not bothering or anything. And one comes up and starts nibbling on the grass that got caught around my pool noodle. So it's munching right next to me and on me, and it's bumped my arm and everything. And I was like, oh my god, this is so awesome. And then I was so jealous because I was floating there, and there was an instructor, one of the tour guide instructors, floating next to me. And manatee swam underneath me, right directly underneath me, and then swam up to the instructor and full on kissed him on the face. And I'm like, why couldn't that have been me? What do I need to do to have this job? And I know a couple episodes ago I had mentioned something about Airbnb, and then I forgot to explain what I was talking about Airbnb. But my current dream right now is to actually buy a condo or something in Florida that I can part-time use as an Airbnb while I work here, and then during the winter months go down there, live in my Airbnb, and then work with the touring companies and swim with manatees. And I just, that's my dream right now. And I need it to happen. But the problem is monies. I don't have the monies for it, and I need it. People, pay me, please.
Send money. Fund this.
Yes, and save the manatees. Get rid of humans, save the manatees, because they're incredible. Literally, they have no natural enemies. Like, sharks and killer whales, alligators, they can technically eat them, but they don't really hang out in the same area, so they're not... But even if they were to come across one another, they're just like, hey. And they're like, hey, you good? I'm good. All right, we're good. And they just don't bother. And it's like, oh, I love them. They're just so chill, and they're just so cool, and they're so cute. Oh my god, they're so cool.
I love their chubby faces.
Oh my
I
god.
love this.
Oh my god.
No, this snout.
The
mouth
snooties.
Area, the snooty. I love that.
Oh my god.
So cute.
I love manatees so much. And the one video, like, I hate that it's, like, in an aquarium or whatever, but, like, it comes up to the glass and it boops its nose and it squishes, and I'm like,
So
oh my god, it's so cute. So we're gonna leave off on a high note with the manatees.
That was like a friggin' all the way down.
Yeah, that was some... Yeah, that was a lot. But good episode. That was therapeutic.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. All right, we will talk at you next week.
Talk at you next week.
Bye. Good stuff.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello.
Hi.
That was like an outro?